Hello, ma'am. My name is Pradeep Kumar Chaudhary. So I'm going to present on Nagios XI. The contents will be introduction to DevOps, Nagios and Nagios XI, then Nagios XI architecture. Then I will talk about applications of Nagios. Finally, my work and demo. So while talking about DevOps, it consists of developers for dev and operations as OPS. So actually DevOps is an organizational approach which enables us to build the applications and deploy it in a faster manner. So there are various stages for DevOps. So we can see here this is the diagram of life cycle of the DevOps. So there is a planning phase, coding phase, building phase, testing phase, releasing, deploying, operating, and monitoring. So we can see here that the monitoring is the last phase of the DevOps lifecycle. And there are various software used for monitoring. Some of them are like Splunk and Nagios. So we are using Nagios here. So we're talking about Nagios. It is an open source program and which can be used continuously to monitor different infrastructures, networks, servers, desktop systems, etc. There is the use of plugins which we need to install on the remote device that we want to monitor. After that, it will send us to the uh, server, host server, um, on which we are monitoring. Also, it is the feature of Nagios that it will notify as soon as any failure occurs. While talking about Nagios XI, it is one of the product of Nagios. So Nagios has actually many products like Nagios Core, Nagios Network Analyzer, Nagios XI, and Nagios XI is one of the product. So we are using Nagios XI because it helps in monitoring, alerting, graphing, and remoting in a very easy way. It has a web interface, and the visualization is very good here. While talking about use of Nagios, there are various use of Nagios like network detection, server detection, any fault detection, and the problem underlying use for the detect for the any fault. Similarly, we can also keep an eye on the real time on our server and check the performance, and we can also guide. If, we can also check if any denial of service occurs, what is the performance, and also we can fix automatically if any error occurs. While talking about Nagios XI architecture, it includes process scheduler, remote machine, and Nagios web interface. So there are two types of checking. One is active checking, one is passive checking. So for active checking, process scheduler will send the command to remote machine, and remote machine will reply using the plugins that has been installed. Also, there is passive checking where remote machine will uh, inform to the process scheduler if any error occurs. Here, process scheduler does not have to send any command to the remote machine. And there is Nagios web interface, which will help us to monitor and see the statistics in the real time. So there are various applications of Nagios. Uh, it is used for Windows monitoring, server monitoring, website monitoring, Linux monitoring, SNMP monitoring, log monitoring. There are other various applications, and we will be looking here how to install Nagios XI in our machine. And then we will see how to monitor a website, and then how to monitor a window using NCPA. So actually NCPA is a plugin which we have used. NCPA stands for Nagios Cross Platform Agent. So we have to install this NCPA on the machine or on the host which we want to monitor. It actually a plugin which will send the notifications to the or the data to the Nagios server. So we can go to the Google and we can download Nagios XI. It is available there, and we can download for Hyper-V. I am using Hyper-V here, so I have downloaded for Hyper-V. After that, we can go to the Hyper-V manager and install the required virtual machine. So it works on the CentOS operating system. So we can install it. After installing it, we can just connect it, and after connecting, we need to log in. So the default login ID will be root, and the password will be Nagios XI. So we can just log in here, and after that we need to use the IP address which is written here, HTTP, that is 172.31.200.92, that is used here. We can just use it and type it in any browser. So for example, I have typed it here, and that I have got the access. So it will ask for the first time to log in, to give various names and password. So this will be the display, username, password, email address, everything. Then you will just log in. After logging in, we can just go to configure. We can go to configure wizard, and after going to configure wizard, we can go to Windows, and uh, we can go to desktop. So before going to this, we can just see our website monitoring. So we can just go to website, and we can just type whatever we want to monitor. For example, if you want to monitor google.com, we can just write here google, www.google.com, and it will just take us to next page. So we can see the IP address here, and we can just see whatever the things we want to monitor. For example, HTTP, we want to ping, DNS resolution is okay or not. We can just check this, and we can just go to next. So it will just start monitoring. So I have started here. So we can see here I am monitoring google.com, and it is fine. Everything is okay. HTTP is okay, also okay. Ping has been done. It is also okay, and DNS IP match is also okay. One thing is that after we do next, one thing we need to be very clear that under normal circumstances it will check after every 5 minutes. But if any fault occurs, it will just check every minute for 5 times, and if any fault will occur, it will just notify us. Similarly, we can manage our remote desktop. So we can just go to configure wizard, and again we can go to Windows, and we can see the desktop, Windows desktop, and then we can write the IP address and token. So we have to install the NCPA on the machine which we want to monitor, and then IP address and token will be we have to write the token while installing. So we will get this window. So this pop-up will appear, and we have to write the token with remember. So we will just write here the node token and this, and after that this type of window will occur. So actually while I was monitoring my device, so the firewall was just not allowing to get access. So I could not monitor my own device, but I have uh, gotten access to another device. So this is the IP address of another device, and we can see the CPU uses, disk uses, uh, bandwidth, whatever they use. So we can say that everything is okay. But in memory uses, we see the warning. So maybe because it is more than 75%, and 75% is the threshold. So in this way, we can monitor if any denial of service is occurring here, or anything is happening here. It will just show critical stage. So there are various stages in which we can monitor the remote desktop. Thank you.